Hi, my name is Carla Sonheim, and I am happy to be the profiled artist for scrapbooking.com this month. Today I have a drawing exercise for you. It's fun, something you can do with your kids while you're in a meeting. Very simple. It's called blob hunting, and what we're going to be doing is finding some blob shapes around us, some irregular shapes, and then turning them into animals later. You can find these blob shapes in sidewalk cracks or water stains or brick, all kinds of things, dried leaves, and it's lots of fun. The reason I came up with this exercise is I was facing the blank page in my sketchbook, and it just sort of intimidated me, and I found that if I could pre-fill my sketchbook with shapes, then when I went back to my studio later, my imagination already had something to work with. So grab your sketchbook or some paper, a pen, and let's go look for some blobs. Here's some right here that are good. Peeling paint. I'm going to draw this one right here. Oh, here's one up here. It's a good one. I can kind of see a bird in it, but we'll see if it becomes a bird when I'm done. And they even provided an eye for me, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And then, just to challenge myself, that big circle there. So this one does look like a little animal to me. It has kind of these little legs, and if I want, I can just change my drawing to be a little bit more animal-like and make that one area into two. So these blobs, they get me excited all over again to draw. I mean, I just can't wait to get back to the studio. If you don't have a wonderful city like Seattle to find blobs, you can find them in your neighborhood. You have leaves probably, there's sidewalk cracks. The marble of your kitchen counter might work. Go to your bathroom and find some water stains. Look at your carpet, look at the stucco on the wall or the texture of the paint. Lots of place to find blobs inside if you can't get outside. Okay, I'm waiting for this light, and I think I see one over on this pole over here. So here's a cool one on this pole. Instead of drawing the white paper, I'm going to actually draw the negative space and see what happens. It's just really fun to kind of take a closer look at these shapes around us, shapes that don't really have any significance or importance. I don't know, it was just a really fun thing to do, to draw that little, this little torn paper edge. So here's one. I could do a couple things here. I could pick just part of it to draw. Maybe like this could be a blob. This section could be a blob. I could take the whole thing and make that one blob. I can do all of those things. So lots of shapes I can get out of this one area of tile here. So I've sort of seen a rabbit here as I started drawing, and once again you can accentuate what you might see. So I'm actually drawing this so that it will look like a rabbit. So I don't have to draw exactly what I see every time. So you want your line to be really shaky, because animals are kind of organic creatures, and the shakier your line, the more natural it'll look when we get back into the studio. Okay. Hi, we're back in the studio, and I have my blob shapes here that I've just collected, and I'm going to pick one now to turn into an animal, a blob-amo. And I think I'm going to go with this one. It's kind of, some of them are more obvious, animals than others, and this one is one that's a little less obvious, so I wanted to demonstrate one that was a little harder to get. At first look, I kind of see a bird in here. I see a beak here, maybe the eye could go here, and this would be the wing and tail. But before I make my first mark, I'm going to turn my book around all directions, looking to see if another animal pops out that I might like better. I do see kind of a cat here. This would be an ear and its mouth and its paw and other paws. So I could do that. That's a good option. Or I could continue on with my bird idea. And really, I think I like the cat. Now, I don't care that it's going to be off-center in my sketchbook. To me, it doesn't matter, so that's why I can do that. And when you're working on little sheets of paper, separate sheets of paper, it won't matter at all. But I'm going to pull out the cat because I think it just seems more fun to me. And so basically, I can do whatever I want at this point. I really like working from imagination, but I have found that my imagination needs help, and that's what these blob shapes are. But from here, I can just go. So once I get my basic outline in, I can start adding some wrinkles and fur and hair and shading. So I often will darken underneath the eyes and putting a little bit of shading underneath the neck. And I also put shading under arms and legs and you know, at the bottom edge. This kitty, I imagine, is lying on a couch or something like that, and so this is the bottom edge of him or her. Now I have this line here that I don't like because it kind of betrays that, you know, I didn't think of it in the first, so I'm going to actually just kind of straighten out his tail and make it look like I did that on purpose. I had a boss once, and she's actually the one that got me drawing, and when I showed her one of the drawings I was working on, her comment was, it's too perfect and that's all I'm going to say. And so from that point on, I have really made it a point to sort of roughen up the texture. Cats and people, we all have blemishes all over our faces and things like that. So too perfect is not really, doesn't make for, I mean, I just like to sort of roughen it up, and I've totally seen the value of it since. Now, I think you've noticed that I haven't put in the pupils yet, and I like to wait till the very end because depending on where I put the pupils, the cat will look really differently. And I think for this one, I'm going to have it looking to the right. So once again, just making it not quite so perfect. Okay, I think that one's done. So that is your assignment, is to go out blob hunting, draw 6 to 10 blobs, and then finish one into a blob mold.